Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to Easy Career Growth, where we take the time and energy and try to put into our videos some key things that you need to know throughout your business life. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to negotiate a higher salary. I don't mean when you've already been there for a while, been in the position for a while, but I mean when you're coming into a new role, coming into a new company. There's some key things that you need to do to make sure that you maximize your opportunity, maximize your maximum benefit. That includes salary, vacation, bonuses, signing bonuses, etc. Make sure you get everything you possibly can when you're coming through the door. You only get one opportunity to be a new employee. Once you miss that opportunity, it's gone. In this video, I'm going to give you some key areas to make sure that you maximize your opportunity. If you stay to the end, I'm going to give you 10 key points that you must follow. Some of them common sense, but they're very, very critical that you understand and to realize before you go into any negotiation. All right, let's jump right in. So a little background. You know, when companies go through their recruiting phase, they have to go through a point where they get the budget. They have to sometimes go fight for the role, fight for the position. Is it needed? Is it not needed? Can somebody else do it? Can we outsource it? So once we finally get the okay from HR and everyone to hire someone, then you start the recruitment process. This takes a lot of time, guys. A lot of times. So what happens normally? They outsource it. Companies will outsource it because what the outsourcement companies will do, they will put out a job requirement. And then they will get CVs that will come in or resumes that will come in. They will screen them. They will make some pre-phone calls. And they will make sure that you, at a minimum, fit the criteria for what's needed for that job. Then they will go into the hiring manager. The hiring manager will take a look, and they will do another round of screening. Now, at the end of that, they'll come up with let's say 10, 15 people that's on the short list. Once you get on the short list, then the hiring manager will then give you a secondary call, and that's when the process really starts. At this point, it's not time to negotiate. Don't negotiate anything. You're still trying to get the job. You're still trying to work your way through this process. Process not done yet, and you have a long way to go. So don't shoot your guns yet. You better wait till the very end. Wait till the very end. The hiring process will take anywhere from 6 to 8 months. Once you get to a point where you're one of the final candidates, then you need to understand at some point in the near future, you're going to start negotiating. Not yet. You want to have that last discussion. When you have that last discussion, you need to be ready to talk about salary when the client brings it up or when the employer brings it up. You don't want to rush right in and start talking about salary and benefits from the very beginning. You want to save that to the end. Even when they try to talk to you about it, you want to push that off to the very end if you can. Just try to push it up. Trust me on this. Wait to the very end, because at that point you'll really know when it's time to start negotiating your salary. Before you get to that point, now they've called you in, they've told you that you are a final candidate. Okay? Now, before you get to that point, you need to do your homework and find out what the pay standards are. So you can go to Glassdoor. You can also go to a website called PayScales. You can get some really good information there. So do your homework. You can also go on LinkedIn and see if you can find some information there from your network. But do your homework. Understand what the market pays based on your education, based on your experiences, and based on the value that you think you can bring to the company. You get into the final meeting and you're talking about you're a good fit, and you're giving your spiel about how you really feel honored, you want to work in this company, you feel it's a good fit, and your skill sets are perfect, and it's a marriage made in heaven. Now comes time to talk salary. And now it's finally there. So the hiring manager says, so tell me what you would like to have for salary. What's your expectation on the salary? Aha! That could be a trap. All right, so what you first want to do, see if you can spin that around a little bit and ask the hiring manager, can you tell me the ranges for this role? And see if they bite. See if they give you any information at all. Normally they'll tell you it's $50,000 to $75,000. There's a range, and you can go in and add your comments where you think you should be. Be honest. Don't go all the way to the top. That's not where you want to be or think you should be. But also, you should try to maximize this opportunity. If they don't bite, if they don't give you any information at all, what you need to do is go 10% above, get this now, 10% above the market price. This leaves you some room for negotiations because obviously they're probably going to knock it down. They're probably going to say, no, that's too high. But they probably will ask you, why do you think you deserve, why are your expectations so high? Then you go into your spiel about your background and what jobs you worked on, what value you brought to the table. I never already done it to get to this last point, but you need to do it again. You need to reinforce it. You need to have some examples. You need to have some people that can vouch for you. You need to be able to push this thing to the very end. Next thing we want to talk about is vacation, bonuses, and also talk about signing bonuses because everything is not in the salary. You got to venture outside of the salary sometimes because, hey, having another week off, that's value, right? It may not be in your pocket, but that's another week off, that's value. Having a signing bonus when you first get in, that's money in your pocket, right? Money in your pocket. So take advantage of some of those things. So they come back and say, we can't meet your expectations. That's when you go in and start asking about benefits. Timing is everything. So you look what happened in the marketplace, and you see this company just laid off 1,000 people, or this company didn't make their quarterly returns. Hey, look, this still could be a good opportunity for you to negotiate salary. Don't look at that and say, oh, the company's doing bad. I'm not going to negotiate my salary. I'm not going to say anything because maybe they'll take this off the back. Maybe they won't give me anything at all. Even though the company's doing a layoff, so maybe they've got rid of all of the dead wood and now they're looking for some key players to come in. You might be one of those key players, so take advantage of the opportunity. That's not a downside, that's an upside. The next thing is you should know that most employees will hold back some of the salary range. So if they were going to give you, let's say $50,000, right? Maybe the 55 for a budget. But if you don't ask for any more, they won't give it to you. You settle for 50, you get 50. So let's say, hey, I'm going to give him, I have a little bit of wiggle room to go up to 55. Let's off 50. See what they say. All right? If you don't say anything at all, you don't push the button, and say why you think you should get higher salary, then they're not going to give it to you. So that's just money left on the table that you walked away from. Why? Because you didn't open your mouth, you didn't say anything, you didn't voice it. But you can't ask for this until you get an offer in your hand. An offer, a real hard copy offer with numbers on it. Not verbal. You got to say, put everything in writing, send it to me, then you go back and negotiate salary. You have to have a job offer. 99% of employers will not pull that offer back once they give it to you. They've already sent it to you. They're not going to say, if you ask for more salary, let's pull it back. They won't do that. So they'll give it to you. So don't worry about you shaking the tree and they say, oh, never mind, we're not going to hire you because you asked for additional salary. Most companies expect that. Okay, I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts here. Okay? Number one, you need to think about inflation. Always the cost of goods. Everything is going up. Salaries have been pretty much flat throughout the industry. So you need to make sure this is an opportunity to get as much money as you can, because once you get into the company, you're going to be fixed on the 3% raises, 2% raises, sometimes no raises. You have no control over that. That's driven by the market and some of the internal, KPIs in the company. So unless you're exceptional, you're not going to get more than the average raise. And that might be a range from 3 to 5%, but that's about it. Number two, try to go in a little higher than the market rate to give yourself some negotiation range, right? Try to ask for a little bit more. So if they push you into a situation where you have to give them an answer, go in a little bit higher. Do your research and know what that is. Number three, no email wars, right? If you're going to have a conversation with the hiring manager, try to do it either by phone or in person. You can't get any feeling about what's happening through emails. There's no emotions in emails. So you can misread something. They can misread something. You want to really get on the phone where you can hear tones, the highs, the ease. You want to be able to get some feeling in this. So try not to get in the email war when you feel it going in the wrong direction. Just respectfully ask, can I come into the office at your convenience and let's have a chat. Number four, and I already spoke about this before, vacations, signing bonuses, and also bonuses. That's value. It's value to you. So if you wanted to get that 55, and they say, I can't give you the 55, but here's a sign-on bonus, and also there's an extra week's vacation. Something to consider. Number five, make sure you ask the question if there's a salary cap. Because sometimes you'll say, hey, I really need this 55 as an example. They give you the 55, and then the next year when you get ready to get a raise, they say, oh, you're capped out. What do you mean I'm capped out? Oh, that range only goes up to 55,000, so your salary is frozen until we move the band. We might not move the band for another 3 or 4 years. What happens? Now you're mad because you feel that you've been duped, right? You got the 55, but you didn't ask the right question. Is there room for expansion on this? Can I go to 60? Can I go to 70? What's the top of this band? And they tell you it's 55, you're stuck. So you're locked in. And then what's going to happen? In another year, you're going to be looking for a job. Next one, don't ask for a 40% increase or 50% increase or 80%. That's just wasting everybody's time. You're not going to get a 100% increase. You're not going to get 80% increase. So if they offer you 50,000, you say my expectation 100. It's probably a job you're not going to get. The next one is, hey, be sure you get everything in writing. Now you might get an offer letter, and it may have all of the tangible things that you're looking at, but also there could be some key things in there that you talk about when you're having your conversation, when you're having your phone conversation, when you're having your face-to-face. Make sure you back up and add those things to your offer letter. Make sure they're in there, because if they're not in there and the next HR manager comes around and you're talking about, what I was promised and what I was told, blah, 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 they're going to say, show me your offer letter. I've been in situations where 1,000 times they say, show me your offer letter. And your offer letter doesn't say it, you know what? Talk turkey. Yeah, you're just not going to get it. You're not going to get it. So make sure everything they tell you, everything they promise you, make sure it's in your letter. Now, it's no guarantee you're going to get it if it's in your letter either. But you have a better position if it's in your letter. The next one is get your pitch together, because when you finally go in for this negotiation, they're going to ask you, why do you deserve this? Why do you think you're better than anybody else? Or why do you think you should get the top of this band or above industry standard? Have your pitch ready to go. Practice it. Get in the mirror. Talking to friends. Talking to your wife. Talking to your husband. Make sure you're comfortable, firm, positioned, you're ready to go. Make sure you nail this thing. Make sure you nail it like you've never nailed anything before. I sound like somebody else I know. Anyway, you got to do that. You really, really got to prepare yourself. Don't just walk in cold. Prepare yourself. And last but not least, be humble. Be humble. You're at a situation where you're interviewing maybe the last candidate for this job. Be humble. Be respectful. Be kind. Be courteous. Don't burn bridges. Maybe you don't get this job, but maybe in 6 months they say, hey, I remember interviewing this guy 6 months ago. It didn't work out. Let's give him a call back. Not if you were a complete bear during the interview process. You don't want to do that. You don't want to burn bridges. You want to make sure you leave, either way, a good impression. And if you don't take the job, respectfully bow out. And if you do take the job, give them 110% when you get in there. But make sure you try to get as much salary you can coming through the door, because you're only going to get one opportunity to get. Okay? Hey, look. I really, really enjoyed putting this video together. And I really would like to talk to some of you guys. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button also. That does a lot for the channel. I really want to produce more videos, but I really, really need your help. I'm just really getting started here. So if you could pass on my link to someone else, some of your friends and neighbors, I really, really, really would appreciate it. Please put some comments in. I would love to hear from you, good or bad. Good or bad, I don't care. Comment. I'm a big boy. I can take any negative or positive feedback. Just give it to me. Just give it to me. All right? Look, thanks a lot for joining. See you in the next one. I'm trying to get a little energy here.